Ms. Wandick, you are suing the defendant for $79.40 for baby clothing you claim the defendant gave you for his child, then took it back in a fit of rage and dumped it in a neighbor's driveway.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're also seeking the results of a paternity test to prove once and for all that he is the father of your 15-month-old daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Stampley, you say Ms. Wandick suckered you into throwing her a baby shower for a child that may not be yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are countersuing in the amount of $410 for the cost of that shower. And furthermore, you say you have good reason to doubt you are not her child's father. You claim to have brought a witness who is waiting outside of the courtroom who will turn this case upside down. So, Ms. Wandick, tell me about your lawsuit.
Your Honor, Mr. Stampley brought over baby clothes to my sister's house, and we had got into an argument, and then he threw all the baby clothes to the neighbor's house. And why would he do that when he bought the clothes for the baby? Not me, but for the baby. It was a gift for the baby, not me. So, Your Honor, that's why I'm suing.
And so, Mr. Stampley, at that point, you believe the baby was yours, right?
No,
you bought the clothes?
Oh, yes, Your Honor, but I had a little bit of doubt.
But you bought the clothes anyway?
I did.
And so what happened in this argument that would set you off in this way?
Well, we was actually arguing. She wanted to chase me down the street, want to pull on my clothes, want to act a fool out in the public, and then she wanted to tell me, oh, well, this is not your baby. So, yeah, I made it rain.
Your Honor.
It was onesies on the roof. It was onesies across the street. It was onesies everywhere.
Your Honor.
Okay, so once she told you the baby wasn't yours, you got very angry. And you took the clothes and just threw them.
Everywhere.
Okay. You, Mr. Stampley, you're also suing for $410 for a baby shower you said you put on.
Yes, Your Honor.
For Ms. Wandick. You thought she was carrying your child?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you paid $410 for a baby shower?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that the baby shower?
Yes, ma'am.
And so at this point, did you have doubts that the child was yours?
No, not at this point.
You didn't?
No.
You say she duped you. You don't look duped right there.
Well,
thank you, Your Honor.
Well, Your Honor, I feel I was suckered and sweet talked into this baby shower.
Suckered and sweet talk? In what way?
She told me she has other kids. She told me that she has never had a baby shower. So I felt it was only right that I do something nice for her and the baby and throw a nice baby shower.
Okay.
I did everything. She didn't have to do nothing but just appear.
Well, you thought you were having a baby.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So why do you feel like you were suckered? Doesn't look like you had a doubt there. Did you have a doubt?
I did.
But you did it anyway.
But I did it anyway. Just trying to be a stand-up guy.
Ms. Wandick, did you sweet talk him out of a baby shower you would not have otherwise had?
No, Your Honor, I did not sweet talk him. He's grown, he planned it, and he provided everything like he said he wanted to do. I did not sweet talk him. You're a grown man. I didn't sweet talk you, and you know that.
So I need to understand first, how did you get together?
I was walking by, he was selling his DVDs. He stopped and talked to me. We exchanged numbers, we went on a date, and then from that point on, Your Honor, we was together every day until the day that he went to jail.
And so in your opinion, you all were in a relationship?
We was in a relationship, Your Honor.
Mr. Stampley, was it a relationship in your mind?
I mean, it turned into a relationship, Your Honor, but my intentions at first was not for her to be my baby's mother, to be my girlfriend, to be none of that. She was on my line. Oh. She was on my line. She was sweating me.
Oh my God.
I wasn't sweating her. That's what she wanted. She wanted a relationship.
Something? No, Your Honor, he's lying. When we met, he was like, oh, because he does have another daughter that's older, 15, and when we met, he was talking about, oh, I think you could give me my boy. Let's try to have a boy together.
God.
So you did not say that to me?
Oh my God.
Mr. Stampley? Okay.
Mr. Stampley?
Yes, Your Honor.
She just said you pretty much asked her to have a child.
No, Your Honor.
Did you say that?
No, Your Honor.
So you had no interest in this relationship?
I didn't expect for it to. I just wanted to remain as friends.
When you were sleeping together, did you use protection?
No.
No, we didn't, Your Honor. Not
And
one
so
time.
when you found out you were pregnant, what did you say?
I told him that I was pregnant. I said, Mr. Stampley,
I went away.
I'm pregnant.
I went away for 30 days, Your Honor. I went to jail. Me and her was together for a short time, and then I went away to jail for 30 days.
Okay, Your Honor, but before he went away, I was pregnant, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
So you're saying when you got together with him, you were pregnant. And
Yes.
so when he went away, you were already pregnant.
Yes, Your
But
Honor.
Mr. Stampley, you believe she could have gotten pregnant while you were away.
Your Honor, she called me after I had did the 30 days, I came home, me and her was communicating. She called me one day from the emergency room, asked me to come up there and come see her. I come up there to come see her, they won't let me in. So finally, eventually they let me in after I waited for a while. She said, oh, I'm pregnant. Didn't no doctor tell me she was pregnant. I didn't see nothing saying nothing about being pregnant.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
After returning home from jail, I was over at a friend's house. She came over, and me and her was talking, and I kept asking her, what's what's
Your
wrong?
Honor.
She was acting real funny. So
Your
I just
Honor.
asked her. I said, man, did you cheat on? Because I started feeling some type of way. I'm like, did you cheat on me? I mean, what's going on? She like, yeah, I did cheat.
Oh.
So she admitted that she cheated.
I did, Your Honor. I admitted that I
did
cheated
admit.
on him. Like he said, we was at his friend's house. We got done having sex, and then after we got done having sex, I felt bad, and then that's when I confessed it. At least I was woman enough to tell you.
asked her-
But
I
Your
asked her
Honor,
who
I was
baby it was.
already pregnant. He did ask me who baby it was in the course of his baby because I was already pregnant the second time when he went to jail.
All right. So,
She was getting around, Your Honor. She was getting around.
Mr. Stampley.
Well, you wasn't there, so what else was I supposed to do?
Look
I
how
already
you
told
sound
you.
stupid.
I sound stupid.
I was
But
only
you
gone for-
wasn't
I was only
there.
gone for a
Oh,
week.
but you still wasn't there. You constantly was going back and forth to jail, so whatever.
bot, man.
Okay, I'm lying.
He's a straight bot.
Okay, I'm a lie. Okay. We're gonna
Well,
see
hold
who's a
on now,
lie.
Miss Wandick. Let's keep it real here. If you don't think it's a big deal that you slept with other people while he was away when you were in a relationship, you got to understand why he might feel like it
Your
may
Honor,
not be a big deal for you to hide the fact that maybe the child could be somebody else's. You're very cavalier about, when you're cavalier and very casual about sex, that's only fueling his doubt.
I understand, Your Honor, but I'm not being like, I don't care that I cheated. I admitted to him that I cheated is what I'm saying. I could have kept it to myself and he would have never knew nothing at all. But I was woman enough to tell him that I cheated on him.
Right, and look, that's a good thing.
Your Honor, I asked her 5 times though, like 5 or 6 different times. She kept saying, just trust me. No, I didn't do anything like that. All I want was the truth.
Okay, and then I gave you the truth.
Well, how many times I asked you though?
Okay, no matter how many times you asked me, I still told you.
So, Mr. Stampley,
I didn't believe it.
Bottom line, you don't think she was pregnant already before you went away?
No.
You think the cheating is very well what could have led to the pregnancy?
Correct.
Meaning somebody else could be the child's biological father. Now, when you were cheating,
Yes.
was it just one other person or more than
It
one?
was just one other person, Your
Your
Honor.
Honor, I got a family member that even told me that she was doing a bunch of cheating while I was in jail.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do.
And that's the witness you brought today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Jerome, can you please go get this witness? Ma'am, please state your name for the court.
Michelle Baker.
Ms. Baker, thank you for joining us today. And your relationship to the defendant is?
I'm her sister.
Oh, you're the
Analyst, man.
plaintiff's sister.
Yes, ma'am.
But you are the defendant's witness.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Your Honor, my sister, she's just a big hater. She's a hater.
Okay, ma'am, what do you know about this?
Well, I caught my sister cheating on Mr. Stampley
Scandalous.
while he was incarcerated.
You did?
Yes, ma'am.
And what happened? How did you catch her?
I was taking my kids to school. When I returned home, she was in the bedroom with another man.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
And so was that just
Something that
one
you
time
already
you
knew.
caught her?
On several occasions.
It was not several occasions. Why are you lying?
No
Like,
one needs
you
to
don't
lie
even like
on
you. I don't
you.
even know
Who
why
are
you're
you?
here. Why are you lying?
Your
No
Honor,
one's
Why are you
I don't
lying?
need
Why
to
are
lie
you
to
being a
you.
hater? Why
No
are you
one
being a
is
hater?
being a
You
hater.
did
You're
this
the
not only
hater.
one
You're
time.
mad.
How many men did you have running in and out your home?
Let's get
How many
some
more
order.
did you
Let's
have
get some
yours?
order. So after you witnessed this, Ms. Baker, what made you decide to tell Mr. Stampley?
I feel like he needed to know because me and both my sisters
It's none of
did
your
not
business.
have, we grew up without parents in our home. So we both know how it feels to be raised without mother or father. So I felt like it was my place so that my niece should know if he is the dad or not.
Do you believe she cheated during the window of conception?
Yes, ma'am, and I actually
Your
have
Honor.
a calendar
Your Honor, can I
right
please
here
say
that I would
something?
like to present
You have
to
a calendar?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see that.
Here you go.
In green are the dates Mr. Stampley was incarcerated.
Yes, ma'am.
In blue are the dates that you know for certain your sister had sex with her ex.
Yes, ma'am.
In red, October 3rd is the date your sister, Ms. Wandick, discovers she's pregnant.
Yes, ma'am.
And Namaya was born June 13th.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Wandick, as you look at that calendar, is it an accurate representation of your sexual activities during that time?
No, Your Honor. Before I cheated on Mr. Stampley, I was already pregnant, Your Honor.
The good news is we know when Namaya was born, and we have approximate dates
they need
as
to add
to
up
when
their
you
dates.
were involved with both
You need
men.
to add up their dates.
So hold on.
I do know
hold
what
on.
I was doing.
Yeah, you know what
No,
you
you
I do know what I was doing.
Excuse
whole lot of
me.
cheating.
Let's
Whole lot
figure
of
this
cheating.
out. All right. I can type in the date of Namaya's birth in the conception calendar. That's June 13th. Now, if I hit calculate, the probable dates of conception are September 16th through September 24th.
Bam.
So the window of conception would be September 16th to September 24th. If we look at the calendar, we see you were with your ex during the time Mr. Stampley was incarcerated.
Your Honor, she probably got her dates wrong or something because
No.
I know, yeah, you probably
No, you got
did.
your dates
I know
wrong.
for a fact that
You
this
got
is
your
Mr.
dates wrong
Stampley's
because you set up
baby.
your-
You
all she
don't even know
keeps
how to
saying.
do
That's all she
just
keeps
did
saying.
it.
That's all she keeps saying.
What?
This my baby, but she don't. That's what I'm here for. That's her sister. Her sister's not gonna sit here and lie on her.
Why do you feel your
Okay, we'll
sister would
see.
just lie on you?
Your Honor, I was in the room chilling with somebody, and she always.
Your Honor, I got text.
Chilling.
Your Honor,
She
I
always
done seen
had
text messages.
Yes.
Your Honor, I done seen text messages from another guy talking about the baby.
Really?
So
what,
when I
what
asked
did
her
the
about it,
message say?
she said, "Oh, maybe it was for my cousin." No, it was for you.
Your Honor.
It was for you.
What did you read?
Where's my baby? And I miss you too. And all. Yeah, she's scandalous.
I am not scandalous, Your Honor. Those
She's
text
scandalous.
messages was from my cousin when she was using my phone, like I told you.
Okay.
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 Mr. Stampley,
Yes,
have
Your
you
Honor.
developed a relationship with Namaya?
Oh, very much so.
You have?
Very much so. Me
Tell me.
and her bond, we do everything together. She called me daddy. Look at that little girl right there.
No.
And look, she looked just like you.
No, man.
Yes, she do. Look at the head, look at the eyes, look at those ears. You're
So
in
you
denial.
really are torn apart.
Yeah, because I know at the end of the day, that baby's not gonna have me no more. I'm not finna stick around. I'm not finna stick around like that. I don't move like that, Your Honor. That's all. I mean, that's all she know is me. That's all she know.
You would walk out on this little girl?
I don't want to, but I need to know. I need to know something, because something's not adding up.
Jerome, I think it's time for the results.
And when we get him, you should just walk out her life, period, since you want to be in denial.
Okay. now
Look
I'm
at my
in denial.
baby. Look at
Now
her.
I'm in
She looked
denial.
just like you. Look at her. Look at her. How are you going to deny her?
We
Just
finna-
because
we
I
finna
cheated.
find out right now. We
Just
finna
because
find out
I
right now.
cheated, though.
We finna
Just
find
because
out
I
right now.
cheated. Are you serious?
Shouldn't have cheated.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Wandick versus Stampley, when it comes to 15-month-old Namaya Stampley, and as to whether Mr. Stampley is her biological father, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Stampley, you In the case of Wandick versus Stampley, when it comes to 15-month-old Nehemiah Stampley, and as to whether Mr. Stampley is her biological father, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Stampley, you are her father. Your fears and your doubts have been put to rest.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Wandick, I know you are angry because you feel like they were, speaking negatively about you and didn't know your business, but let's be honest, you wouldn't be in this situation unless you put yourself in this situation. Ms. Wandick, you believe Mr. Stampley owes you $79.40.
Correct, Your Honor.
Because he bought you some onesies, and then once you all got into an argument, he got mad and threw the onesies.
Correct, Your Honor.
Now, you've presented no evidence that would suggest that you could not get those onesies back. So because of that, I have to rule for the defendant, judgment for the defendant. Now, Mr. Stampley, you, in your claim, say you got sweet-talked out of $410 for a baby shower you gave for Miss Wandick. She in no way duped you or defrauded you out of $410. You gave the baby shower willingly because you thought you were having a baby and you were trying to be a stand-up guy, and ultimately you were having a baby and you had a baby and this child is yours. So for that reason, judgment is for the plaintiff in your particular case. Ms. Stewart, you say a 6-month relationship with Mr. Anderson 27 years ago resulted in the birth of your son, Christopher.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say Mr. Anderson is a deadbeat who's been running from his responsibilities all this time,
That's not true.
and you intend to prove paternity today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Anderson, you say Ms. Stewart was a promiscuous two-night stand who is obsessed with child support money and has no idea who her child's father is. You say there is no way you are her son's father. So, Ms. Stewart, why have you waited 27 years to bring Mr. Anderson to court?
Your Honor, I'm here to prove that Tony Anderson is a deadbeat father.
I object, Your Honor.
Okay.
I object.
I've been going back and forth to court to try to establish paternity.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Because he is Chris' father, and it's time for him to man up.
What was the nature of your relationship with Mr. Anderson?
We dated for 6 months, Your Honor.
She's a lie.
You say it wasn't 6 months, Mr. Anderson?
No, ma'am. Your Honor, we only messed around twice. We was more or less friends with benefits.
What benefits?
You had
got?
benefits.
What benefits you got?
Look. We talked on the phone for about 2 months. When we first came, she came to my house, she was looking at me like I was a pork chop. You know what I'm saying? So
You wasn't tasty.
Look. Yeah, it very
Because
much.
you only cook beans and rice food.
Whatever. I count on one hand how many times I've ever seen her in my whole life.
That's a
You
lie,
say you
Judge.
dated for 6 months.
6 months. I met this
That's a lie.
fool
That's
in
a lie.
February of '91.
That's a lie.
We was in a relationship. The last time I chilled with him was in August for his
That
birthday.
don't make no sense.
For his birthday, which was in August. My son was conceived between March and April, because we met in February and we started sleeping around in March.
So,
She is lying,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Anderson, what's the timeline you remember?
The timeline I remember, I have a paper if you want.
Oh,
Why
you
you
brought
don't know
some
it by heart? Because you lying.
Jerome, let me see that evidence he has, please.
Yeah, lie. You always got to have that ready.
You got Labor Day weekend.
Oh, so in yellow, you
31st.
have that Christopher Stewart's birthday is February 19th.
Right.
You
So-
say the weekend where you had the two-night stand was Labor Day weekend.
Yes, ma'am. She came in the van, her and her friends, they took us to the beach, and we had sex in the van. That was the second time.
That was
I'm
the
lying?
second time.
I'm lying.
I'm listening.
All right, that was the second time. You see what I'm saying? When we got back,
That was not
she
the
was
second
already
time.
2 months pregnant then, y'all.
That was not the second time.
She was already 2 months pregnant. Well, how you gonna have a full a baby, a 7-pound baby that's in 6 months?
Tony, you
In
know
6
you
months.
lying.
So
You
hold
know
on.
you
Okay.
lying.
So you're saying that she must have already been pregnant when you all got together on Labor Day,
Yes, sir.
and that baby was already conceived.
Yes,
So you can't be the biological
Yes,
father.
ma'am.
Okay, so if that's the case, wasn't I showing then when I met you or something?
Did what?
You heard me.
I didn't hear you say it
Your
again.
Honor, I met this fool here in,
Let's be respectful, Mr. Anderson.
Your Honor.
If he
I
would have
met
called
Mr.
you a name,
Anderson.
okay.
I met Mr. Anderson.
Okay.
February. The last time me and him slept together throughout the whole 6 months was his birthday week. His birthday was in August.
Girl, why you lying? I mean, you.
Your birthday not
my
in
birthday,
August,
my birthday
27th.
in August, but we had sex when that was like 4 or 5 days after my birthday.
So
okay?
that's your birthday week.
Yeah,
Do the
but
math.
but no,
fool.
we didn't. What you said the whole
Do the
weekend?
math.
She said the whole weekend, not the whole.
Do the
weekend.
math.
One day.
I said the whole course of the relationship.
There ain't no whole course of no relationship. Stop lying.
I'm not
We
lying.
only had sex twice, Yon. I don't know what she talking about. She must got me confused with somebody else.
Well, the timelines both of you are talking about are completely different. Because your point is, Mr. Anderson, if we had sex 2 times Labor Day weekend, that is not long enough for a full-term baby to be born.
Exactly, Yon.
And you say that is the only time you had sex with Miss Stewart.
That was
2
the second
times,
time.
that weekend,
That was
that's
the second
it.
time. The
I'm
first
sorry.
time, that was the second
That was the
time.
second time. When was the first time?
6 months before the Labor Day, right?
Okay.
We had sex. That's the first time. That's when I say she looked at me like a pork chop.
Mr. Anderson, your testimony is now expanding a bit to include another sexual encounter, but you say it was 6 months before August.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Then that would be a 1-year conception because
Right.
Mr. Stewart was born the next February.
Right.
So then you would have been pregnant for a year. So either way, your testimony leads to the fact that you don't believe you're the biological father because you say the dates don't match up.
Right.
You find out you're pregnant.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you tell Mr. Anderson?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
And what does he say?
I'm tripping.
Okay.
Who the daddy?
And then obviously he wasn't a part of the birth
No, ma'am, he
process.
wasn't.
He wasn't there when Christopher was born.
No.
Did you put his name on the birth certificate?
No, Your Honor. He was not present.
But no, Yon, that's not true.
He came to see
when
Chris.
He came, when
One at a time.
When that boy was two days old, I came over there with some diapers. And that's the picture right there. He was 2 days old on that picture, so
Chris
we was
was
at the
not
house.
2 days
Yes,
old on
yes,
that
he was.
picture.
Yes, he was.
Chris was 2.5 to 3 weeks old on that picture. His mama bought me a house robe and Chris an outfit.
And look,
that was the only
Your
thing.
Honor, that's a lie. Look,
She laid eyes on
that's
my
a lie,
son.
Your Honor. That's
And
a
she
lie.
looked up at my mama with a smile.
She lied,
And she
Your Honor.
smiled at him and she said, Black. They call him Black, his nickname. She said, Black. This is
Your Honor.
our baby. This is my baby.
Your Honor, when I was there bringing diapers, guess what?
You
They
ain't
had a
never
whole
brought
nother
no
man out there
diapers.
bringing diapers. A whole nother man bringing diapers and
And what
clothes.
you do if it was
Huh? And
who was
guess
the
what?
other man?
Guess what?
A
I ain't had no conflict or nothing with that. I was just go ahead and do it.
You
Go
lying.
ahead.
Mr. Anderson, you testified that the times that you were intimate with Miss Stewart were so outside the boundaries of an appropriate timeline to have a baby, you could not be the biological father. And yet, after Christopher was born, you do admittedly say you went along with your mother, your late mother.
Yeah, because we wanted to see the baby.
But why?
Look, I just went to show my support anyway.
How?
Just in case anything
What
happened.
support?
I just wanted to support you.
So
You ain't never supported me
Whatever,
on nothing.
man. We was friends, man. We was
You
friends.
ain't never supported me.
All right, whatever.
and he has not supported the
I only
child.
seen her 5 times.
He
in my
have
whole
not
life.
supported Chris in any type of way. And the truth be told, the reason why we probably here today was because when I was contacted, I received a letter in the mail from the Texas Attorney General. They've been compensating money from him. It's a debt for over $20,000 that he owed. I got the paperwork right here.
Let me see
You trying
this
to run for
paperwork.
God? Just like you
what
ran
you mean?
for fatherhood.
You've been running for
you wanna
DNA
run-
test the whole life.
It would make sense.
Young.
It
Jerome,
would make sense.
Miss Stewart
It
and
would make
Mr.
sense.
Anderson.
If I was still, I would run then, but I ain't running now because it really don't matter because he grown.
Miss
But it's still
Stewart,
gonna
Miss
prove.
Stewart, let me see your evidence.
That's what you running from.
So what you presented to the court is evidence that Mr. Anderson is a balance of unpaid child support of $20,706.92. So you're in arrears for that amount, Mr. Anderson.
Right.
And how did you find out you were on child support?
Because they started garnishing my check. When I went to court, she still didn't show up, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
I went to court, she still didn't show up. I got a paper right here, Your Honor.
Let me see that. Jerome, will
Your
you
Honor,
please pass that?
I didn't never file child support on him.
An original petition was filed in 1998
Yes, ma'am. And
by
I took-
Monique Stewart,
I took a DNA test.
but it was dismissed for want of prosecution in 2000.
That means she ain't come to court.
Hold on, Mr.
I
Anderson.
came every trip.
You lie.
And the
Mr.
original
Anderson?
one
First
was
time I ever
produced-
seen you in the
Ms.
court.
Stewart and Mr. Anderson, testify to me. Y'all done had 27 years if y'all want to have a conversation, but you couldn't have one.
That's right.
So now you're going to testify up here so I can get down to the bottom of it for Christopher. So, Mr. Anderson, what is your contention here? You believe she petitioned the court but then failed to show because she didn't want to do the DNA test?
Yes, Your Honor. And they say there's only two reasons why they would dismiss it like that. They said, one, either she didn't take the DNA test, or two, the child ain't yours.
So that's what you were told, and so from there, you said she must not have wanted to take the DNA test. And to
They
this
enforced
date,
it.
but to this date, you all have never taken a DNA
No,
test.
the judge enforced it because of his absentee.
Absolutely, was probably named father by default.
Exactly.
So now we understand what happened here. I would like to hear from you, Christopher, now. You've been quiet this entire proceeding. You 26 years old now.
Yes, ma'am.
How many times have you seen Mr. Anderson in your life?
Well, in the 26 years, 4 months, and 2 weeks of my life, this is the third time I've seen this man
In your life?
in my life. Once when I was 7, once when I was 21, and today.
That's right.
I was 7 years old. My mom sent me off to stay with him for a week of Christmas.
But he didn't stay with me, he stayed with my mama.
I stayed with you too.
Oh, yeah.
One night, Christmas night, Christmas Eve. And stop lying, you know it's
Right,
true.
You might have stayed with me, man. I
You
ain't
bought
saying
me a,
did,
you
but
bought
I'm
me a,
saying you didn't stay the
you
whole
bought
time
me
with
a pair of Nikes, you bought me a coat, and you bought me a Hot Wheels car set.
And I still was, in my mind, I still was thinking that you might not be mine. I mean, you're a grown man now, man.
Yeah, I know I'm a grown
so,
man now.
Christopher-
That was the next time.
Listen.
That was the next time you saw me when I was a grown man, 21.
I never wanted you to get so
Mr.
close to me
Mr.
and then get your heart broke. That's
Mr.
all.
Anderson,
So-
I will give you a chance to respond, but it's Christopher's turn to talk now.
Okay.
This young man deserves to have our
right.
undivided attention.
He do.
Go ahead.
Even when, the same time when I was 7 years old, I met a couple kids outside, while the stay I was there. And he told me I couldn't go outside until I called him daddy. I don't know you like that.
I ain't never told you to call
Yes,
me
you
daddy,
did,
man.
bro.
I don't know who put that in
Keep
your
going.
face.
you did. You did.
Mr. Anderson, go ahead.
And then when I was 9 years old, 2 years later, I guess that's what, on the thing right there, my mom told me she had to take me to the doctor. And I was like, for what? There's nothing wrong with me. And then she said, because it's for a DNA test because your daddy don't think you're his. He never came.
That's the first time I'm hearing about that. What he talking about, the DNA test? If that was the case, what we doing here? We would have been had the DNA test done. I'm surprised he got him to do it now.
So you believe that she's been avoiding this all
Exactly,
these
Your Honor.
years
They the
because
ones
she
been-
knows he's not your biological
Exactly, Your
child.
Honor.
Do you
But
know that?
Yes.
But Ms. Stewart, your contention is you've gone through the entire court process and he never showed up.
Correct.
It's a shame that this young man has to stand here and listen to all this.
Yes.
And I mean, no, because really, two adult people. I mean, I know you have been through the legal process in your own way, and you've been through it in your own way. And you all were going down two parallel roads, only seeing only your side in this situation instead of working together for the greater good of this young man because, and I can see why, how almost 27 years later, you still arguing across the aisle like y'all broke up yesterday. I mean, it is incredible. I heard you talk all day. I'm done hearing your mouth. We're here to get answers. And so we can figure out where we go from here.
Correct.
Because it's not his fault.
All right. Jerome, the envelope, please. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Stewart versus Anderson, when it comes to 26-year-old Christopher Stewart, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Anderson, you are the father.
Now, thank you, Judge. All right, guys.
You are the father, Mr. Anderson. That's your son.
Well, I would like to have a relationship with him.
Christopher, what would you like to say to your dad?
Now you know, man. Now where we go from here?
We're gonna be family, man. I'm gonna look out for you, because you mine.
Does it feel good, Christopher, just
Yes,
to know
ma'am.
you had to hold in a lot over these 27 years, haven't you, sweetheart?
Yes, ma'am.
You are a lucky man today. I mean, you got yourself one amazing young man for a son. Acted more mature than you today.
Ain't that the truth?
In this moment, though, I think you could meet him halfway. Because he said, where do we go from here? And you say, we're family. But you still standing over there.
We'll do that for you.
And now I think we have a great opportunity to right our wrongs. And that's a beautiful gift of life. Ms. Stewart and Mr. Anderson, y'all gotta work on this and the way you speak to one another. And you gotta figure out how to sit down together. It is nothing like seeing your parents, married or not, be able to have civil conversation and show love, respect, and honor for one another, because that honors you.